right. We're back
So,
again with another star-studded episode of the Big Mouth Media Podcast with yours truly, King Jacob, and we give all praises and blessings to the man upstairs for
absolutely.
us letting to get out stories, media, news coverage, so on and so forth. And so tonight we do have a special guest live from, you know, uh, Fort
Pompano
Lauderdale
Beach.
area, Pompano Beach area, the Coral Springs, all that diverse
Absolutely.
area in South Florida. So none other
So,
than Minister of Music, Mr. Byron Holton. What's good, man?
nothing much, man. Just peace and blessings. How about yourself? How you doing?
Doing well, doing well, man. Doing well. I'm so glad that you took the time out your busy schedule to really come and chop it up with me, man. This is the chop up gospel session, and so we gonna talk about where the journey started at and how it maximized with you being in the gospel realm now. So, who is the minister of music, Byron Holton? Can you tell the people
Uh,
that?
who is the Minister of Music, Byron Holton? Minister of Music, Byron Holton is a pure worshiper. I'm a father of, of four daughters, one very strong son who's only 10 years old. I am just full of music and a lot of information. I'm one of those people that I'm a bit of an information hoarder. Like I like to either read things or I like to um, absorb a lot of content because I believe that when you have more content, that you're able to write from a space that most people cannot write from. Or when you are in a place of worship, you have diversity inside your heart. You have um, not just your own opinions. The Bible says, "Lean not on your own understanding." Right. So I try to get out of my own understanding. So I make sure that I'm constantly reading content. But most importantly, the most important content is the infallible Word of God. So if you ask me who I am the son of Ralph and Carolyn Holton. I'm a product of Broward County and Pompano Beach public schools. But more importantly, I am just a pure worshiper, sir. That's it.
Okay. So let's rewind some and tell us. A matter of fact, I want to ask you this: Do
Sure.
you have a Do you have siblings that sing?
Yes, I do. I think you're kind of getting to my start a little bit. I was actually in a group with my brother, Tyrone Holton, who's in a hospital probably right now, recovering nice and easy after a bad fall. We had a group called Sounds of Success, 19, let's say maybe from 93 to about like 96 or 97. We actually obtained a record deal in 96 with Polygram. Uh, my mom sings, my dad sings, my sister Christina, Jessica, she sings, my brother Damon sings. I think the dog sings. There's nobody who doesn't sing in that family.
Okay. So with that being said, is your sister Christina releasing a project or is it already out yet?
No, she had a project out. I want to say maybe about maybe 3 or 4 more years ago, she had released a single. Um, I mean, it's more of a ballad, if you say. It's not gospel material,
Okay.
but she's definitely a worshiper too. When she starts writing.
Okay. So is there any other projects that's been released in your family, male or female?
My brother Tyrone, he's been featured on a lot of Travis Gamage, aka T Dog.
Uh-huh.
It's a T Dog 954. So a
Right.
lot of the songs that you hear with the choruses where the guy's singing really rough, that's my brother. That's Tyrone. So that's
Okay.
Tyrone Holton. Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk about how this music thing got started for you, and when did you know, and when did your mother and father know that okay, all right now, Genetically, he's great. So
Mm.
we just
You got
had
me.
to we just had to hear it, you know. So when did your parents know that you had that gift?
I'd probably say when they stopped telling me to cut the Cassie off. Um, I was probably like maybe 14, 15. And I remember my brother Tyrone, he had a growth spurt where he like was maybe 6'4" or something like that in his freshman year of high school. So he left his Casio alone. And I thought it was fair game. So I took the Casio and I kept playing and playing. And I think my parents, they thought it was a bunch of noise for a minute. And then I think my dad did his normal routine to come by and knock on my door to tell me to stop. He didn't tell me to stop. And from that moment on, I remember him bringing another bigger keyboard that was nicer, probably a real keyboard. And I believe it probably started right there, where he says, "Okay, I don't think he's joking anymore. I think he knows what he's doing, and he wants to do it himself." Like I said, my father, he did music too, so it was never really forced upon us, but it was something that we easily gravitated to.
Okay. And so upon you knowing that you had this gift, who were like I tell people that because a person may do gospel music doesn't mean that they don't have any secular music influencers, you know,
Exactly.
and so upon you listening to all levels of music, gospel, gospel, blues, jazz, country, all the above, man. Who
Reggae.
were some of your outside influencers that was not from the gospel realm?
Oh, that's easy. The first would be Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Ray Charles. I kind of have to put him in there because of his musical genius, despite his personal or spiritual flaws. Mr. Robert Kelly himself, R. Kelly, along with groups like Boys and Men, Jodeci.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's being a young kid coming up singing in 1992 with your brothers. These are the things that we gravitated to. But those writing skills and just the vocal skills of people like Stevie Wonder, that was what was really that really actually made me gravitate to music as a musician.
Okay. So did you try Segler first?
Um, Tried me first.
Oh,
I'm an open book, and I have to be honest. Like, you know, um, R&B was my first trial of music before getting into like worship and praise and worship music. Hence, my style. Like, even with the churches that I attended as a musician, I still was me the whole entire time, and I think uh, they saw past the gifts and they saw my heart, and I don't think it even mattered to them anymore. You know, how
okay.
I appeared and dressed. Yeah.
Okay. So how many instruments do you play?
Now I just one right now at the very moment, just piano, keys. I started out drums. Like, I think like most musicians, you start out on drums because it was left unattended. So you just kind of sneak over there, and I fell in love with drums. I just knew I was going to be a drummer. But yeah, I think I probably went somewhere and saw some real drummers and say, you know what? Yeah, you can
Right,
have
right, 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 right. Because
it.
there's some bad ones out there, bro. There's some bad ones out
Ah,
there.
come on, man. You got little Dave. Um, Let me see. Tony Royster Jr., Calvin Rogers. I think the Spears. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean,
Right,
shout out to James Danson and also James Wright. But there's a lot of really dope musicians and drummers down here.
right. So in the whole South Florida area, man. Um, I'm from South Carolina, so and I had a chance to go to some of the churches out there and stuff like that, and um,
Yes.
but we all from that southern reign of where the churches breathing fire. Like
Yes.
the
Yes.
choirs are phenomenal,
Yes.
and you know, even the people who you thought can't sing, couldn't sing, they'll just bust out with a song in church, and you be like, "Whoa,
Mm.
where did that come from?"
Yeah.
And so it's something about their spiritual realm that they feel, you know, in the church. So up, upon you working with a lot of different people, man, what are some of the most high intense sessions that you've had with some really gifted singers?
Ah. Wow. I would probably say I'm at the dig now because I'm getting up there now. But I would probably say the session with T Dog, Gamage. We had also Terrence Clayton. Um, Shout out to TC, Terrence Clayton, and he had like a slew of really gifted, anointed singers in his choir. I felt like extra people came just for that session. Also,
Hmm.
the person that I wrote the song, a rewritten, I should say, I did a remake of "Victory Is Mine," but we put a spin on it. We made it more of a worship song as opposed to "Victory Is Mine." So we switched it up, and I actually wrote a verse for none other than uh, Pastor Gunder. I don't know if you've heard of Ernest Gunder. This
Hmm.
brother, he sings up in the Raptors, kind of like a Dunny McClurkin, but with more of a, he does a lot of coloring with his notes, kind of like a
Hmm.
Zaccardi Cortez.
Okay.
And I just remember that session between like just the background singers, organizing the session itself as I produced the song, and later we had some musicians to replay everything that I did synthetically.
Hmm.
And that session was probably the most um, intense, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that being said, man, I just want to shout out to the quartet era of gospel music. Cause see, I grew up in that
Yes.
quartet area. I grew up with the Williams brothers and Willie Neal Johnson and
Yeah.
the Mighty Clouds of Joy and the
Yes.
Canton and
Cancer spirituals. Yeah.
yeah and Lee Williams and
Yes.
so I yes. So I tell
You naming
people,
some
man,
good stuff.
yeah, man. So I tell people that I do like contemporary, man, but it's something about their quartet music that just
Uh,
move you. You know what I
yes.
mean? And
All
I
you need
tell
is a all you need is a guitarist and just
yeah,
guitar, bass, and just the drummer. That's it.
that's it. That's it. And so and I know in that South Florida area, there's a lot of great
Yes.
quartet groups. A lot of great quartet groups.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So can't forget about all our quartet lovers, man. And so
Yes.
I was listening to a few of your tracks today, Rich Like Me. What it is.
Rich Undone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what is I Need You.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I was listening to a few of your tracks today, man, and um your style is sort of like a Tim Rogers type style. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's listen. Tim Rogers, that's a beast. Anybody who can sing without a microphone, that guy is scary good. He's
Right.
scary good.
But just the melody of your voice and
Yes.
how you contrast your words to engage your audience, when they listen to you. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That's pretty outstanding. But I would definitely love to hear you do something like a
Kind of like a
Alvin
quartet.
Dar Alvin Darling all night with the choir in the back.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I'm actually working on some worship tunes because like for a long time, like I say, my background is has been R&B or hip hop. Honestly, I was a rapper. before I really started getting into the vocalizing. I was the guy in the group that did all the talking parts and did all
Right.
the rapping. So I really didn't start singing until I want to say like maybe 2000 and maybe 2002. When I moved, maybe 2001 when I moved to New Jersey for about a
Okay.
year or so. So, but I could to stay to your point, to your question or what you were saying in regards to like doing something with, like with a choir or something like that. That is definitely something that is also inside my range as well. I just been running away from it.
Don't run away from it, bro.
Nah.
Cause one thing about people, man, people like Alvin Darling and people like uh uh what's it, Bishop Paul Morton and
Yes,
people like that, man, with the crowds, and even with Hezekiah Walker and Fred Hammond
Marvin Winans.
and
Yeah,
Marvin Winans and Pastor Charles Jenkins with War and the song he
yeah,
got with Leandra Johnson, Grace,
yes.
those choirs, man, and so I think, and people forget about how great the Florida Mass Choir was. Whew,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
man, yeah, you talk
Even
about
even the Melvin Dawsons, like you could throw them in that conversation.
right.
You could throw
So
Melvin Dawson
so
in there.
so and that is dope. So do you and your brother produce for each other or no?
My brother, he was more the writer. Like I was kind of like his sidekick, and he did a lot of like all the lyrics and stuff like that. And then I started kind of butting in with the lyrics, but it was mainly for like the rap stuff until like maybe like '96. But nah, me and my brother, not so much. I mean, we did get together and we had a reunion. Like we got the old band back together again, just to really just celebrate life. The fact that only two of us are related. The other three guys, Anthony Thomas and Verdell Thomas, they're brothers, and then Russell Harris is he's a honorary brother. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we recently got back together just to kind of celebrate the fact that all five of us were still breathing. So we just got together, harmonized. Most of us are in faith. Anthony Thomas is Minister Anthony Thomas, possibly Reverend Anthony Thomas, right about now. Russell Harris is deep in faith, and just a quick testimony to talk about Verdell Thomas. Verdell Thomas was the person who prophesied to me in 1998 that I'd be doing this very thing that I'm doing right now, in terms of making music for Christ, for those who are lost in an unconventional way. Because I remember when he first told it to me, I was sitting in his car with him and his fiance and my ex-girlfriend. I don't know why she was in the car, but it made it even harder for me to receive what he was prophesying to me. But he felt that it was really important to tell me that, God had showed him a vision of me, like singing and worshiping and creating these songs that would eventually bridge the gap between those who didn't want to know Christ and those who already knew Christ. And I just thought that was interesting. And don't take this the wrong way, but at that time in 1998, it kind of broke my heart because I wanted to be this, this crooner or Marvin Gaye or kind of like R. Kelly at that time before all the accusations. I really wanted to be that guy, but God had other plans. So I had to leave those vices alone with the industry as well.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, would there be you said all your siblings, you know, nice with the vocals and your pops and everybody. So would there ever be a family album?
Wow. and you're probably the first person in all of the interviews that I've ever encountered that has asked me that question. And honestly, I can see that. Actually, you know what? Let me say this. For my mom's, I believe it was her 65th birthday, I wrote a song for her. And we're just talking about all the wonderful things that she was. I mean, that she is. I'm sorry, she's still here.
Uh-huh.
And I called one of my sister Christina. I said, hey, could you just come in and hop on this song with me, about mom. And so she came in, and then I played it for the other siblings, and it was like, well, I want a verse. So after a while, inadvertently, it wound up being a piece of what you're asking about. So my brother Damon, shout out to him, he's a huge quartet fan. He sounds just like Lee Williams. Does the same exact rock and has a handkerchief in his hand. My brother Tyrone, Christina, my other sister Jessica, and myself. Oh yeah, and my brother's wife Iris. We all came together and put together this song. But in the fashion that I believe that you're speaking of, I can see that. I can see that happening. Yeah, I'm inclined.
Okay. Yeah. So if I just think it's something you should mention to the fam. It would be something different for
They
y'all.
watching.
Yeah. So it'd be something different, and
Yes.
I would just love for them to the definitely. I would love to see that, man. I would love to see that.
I tell you
And
what, you'll be there when we do it. How about that?
oh, okay. That sounds like a bet. That sounds like a bet, man. And so with that being said, who is the most gifted singer out the family?
You gonna do that?
Yeah.
I'll be
Like
right back.
so the reason I say
Ah,
that, you know, you got that family member that everybody just love to hear sing. They got the really smooth, soothing voice, but you also got that family member that hits the riffs, the runs, and the breakdowns
mm,
like no other. And then you have that sister of the family that can really give you she can sing soprano, alto, and tenor. You know what I mean? So who get the most requests from churches, friends, weddings, and
okay,
everything
now
from the
that's
family?
okay. I like that you did that. But I would listen here. I would say, um, I have to give it to my brother. Tyrone is probably by far like one of the most gifted singers in our family. Like, I mean, we're related to other singers that I did mention. I didn't mention Eugene Wilder, who was with MCA Records a long time ago. That "Ooh
Hmm.
Baby, Gotta Get You Home with Me" song, whatever. Lord
Right.
forgive me, but that song, that's him.
All right. Okay.
But my brother Tyrone, I would say he's probably by far the most dynamic singer in our family in terms of
Hmm.
singing, like falsetto, like in his prime, scary in his prime. Um, my sister Christina, she's smooth. Jessica, she can be very like notey. She can color notes up, and like I say, my brother Damon, he's just like more of a quartet, you know, right down the middle. But in their prime, uh, my father,
Oh. Oh. So
Ralph
so
Holton.
so so we just really know where everybody gets it from, and
Yeah,
so in his prime, your daddy was that dude. Yeah.
yeah. You could there's places that like when I started singing as a solo artist or even with the group, if we went to certain places in the R&B days
Hmm.
and we mentioned our last name, they just let us in, right? Um, I joke about this. This is probably not a good
So
joke
so
right now.
so 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 your
Uh,
pops used to sing R&B as well.
yes, he sung. I would say more like soul,
So
like
he was
more of
in. So he was in that realm with one of the Florida great Betty Wright.
yes. He if God rest her soul, if she was alive and she saw him, she would say I know that big head joker. She would do that. My
Okay,
dad,
okay.
he sung like that. He was the real strong, raspy, um, Teddy Pendergrass type. Like
Mm-hmm.
if he sung something, everybody in the lounge or wherever they were,
Mm-hmm.
even as he transitioned to gospel, if he sung, you stopped and you listened. His voice it commanded attention.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. And so with that being said, how many records are you gonna be producing for your sister's next project?
I guess if she's in here, she's like chatting or something like that. Since you coming out of retirement, because yeah, she kind of laid it down for a moment, but I'm actually in the process of launching my own studio. A lot of times I'm floating. You might see me at Circle House. You'll see me at Flow Rider Studio, or either at We the Best with Kent Jones, and the place that I was working at, which is man, not right now, but Marquee Studios. I've been doing like a lot of floating, right? But I'm actually launching, my own studio within the next month or so, officially. So there's plenty of space and opportunity for them, for a sister, to come in and do so. So this is a shameless plug, if you will. Sis, if you're ready, I'll let your boy. That answers your question.
It did. It did. It
Okay.
did. It did answer my question, man. So it's just interesting to me. Her brother's a dynamic producer, and people know she got them vocals, and people anticipating to wait to when she gonna drop something else. So why
Yes.
not let your brother produce the whole EP? For real, for real.
What you waiting for, sis?
Yeah, well, yeah. And so now the $1 million question though:
Okay.
are you gonna produce a quartet album for your brother that has that Lee Williams rock?
I actually started a record called "What Have You Done for Him Lately," right?
Hmm.
And I'm seriously thinking of pushing it in his direction, alongside my brother Tyrone, to kind
Okay.
of like what I mean, like maybe 3 or 4 songs or something like that,
Uh-huh.
you know, because he's actually at Hope Missionary Baptist Church in Pompano Beach.
Okay.
Uh, like we dropped out for a second. Did I drop
Yeah,
out or
yeah.
did you drop out?
You dropped out.
Yeah, I'm on the beach. That's probably why. So,
Okay,
but
okay.
what was the last thing you heard me say?
You said that you was gonna push the record to your brother that sing the quartet and your brother, I think it's
Tyrone.
Tyrone as well. Yeah,
Yes,
about a four song EP, and
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So I can definitely see that. I mean, it's something that I believe me and Tyrone we could lay out. Tyrone could come up with some lyrics or something like that, and probably put a spin on it, like maybe like an electric quartet type of vibe. You know what I mean?
mm,
Maybe
okay,
maybe something different. I kind of I got to put my spin on it, but I think I may reach out to, if he's not too busy, Mr. James Wright, because although the group Sincere, shout out to Sincere, I've actually featured on one of their songs called what is it said? You have to believe in yourself, even if nobody else. We have all the faith, God, you can make. Yeah, I didn't sing the chorus. I actually
hmm
featured on the record as a rapper, believe it or not.
hmm
So yes, but I believe the producer and one of the lead guys from Sincere would probably be a good person to collaborate with in terms of making this happening. You know.
okay, okay. So the very next question I'm gonna ask you, man, I'm gonna say shout out to our boy Demo Denard and what he
Yo.
said. Not bad for a deaf guy.
Yes,
So,
not
so
bad for the deaf guy.
yes, yeah. So have you and him been in the studio together?
Actually, we have some unreleased material, which he's probably baiting this question up right now. We have some unreleased material. I actually met him through acting. I had got into doing some kind of play um, with him and Moselle. I don't know if you know Kevin Moselle.
Name
Shout out to
sound
Mo
familiar.
Entertainment. Huh?
And that name sound familiar.
Yeah, it's Mo Entertainment. But so me, him, and this Moselle guy, we're acting, but we're supposed to be acting as these crooked preachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were once a group. So we're like old band members in this group, whatever, and then we come back together to become preachers. And then there's songs that we've had back in the days. This is what our characters are. But we wind up producing and writing the actual material for the play, and the songs got so good to the point where all three of us, we were looking at each other like, "Hey, we might be able to put this out." And I was, at the time, I was so deep in what I was doing, I was like kind of a bit hesitant, but listening to the material is literally just that. It's fun material. So
Okay.
so you may hear that under some alias, and I think it's more of a like a cookout vibe. Like it's
Yeah, but
something that you can do the bus stop too.
okay. And
Yeah.
so man, but what a lot of people don't know about Demo, man, Demo work hard, bro.
Oh man,
Like,
that is like one of the, next to this other guy, he is probably the hardest working artist in South Florida. Um, Him and what's the big guy with the soft voice? I can't think of his name right now. Makai, like in terms of solo artists. In that field, I've seen Makai Lee in a million places. I've seen Demo Denard like hopping off planes, getting on a plane, going to another plane. I'm like, this dude never stays home. So
yeah,
I don't know if he's from Detroit or Fort Lauderdale or Texas or Germany.
you.
Where are you from, Demo?
We don't know, man. But shout out to him though, man. Shout out to him. So I seen y'all in a couple photos together. So I was like, I know they rock. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. So that's what's
Yes,
up.
sir.
So
Oh yeah.
what female vocalists in South Florida do you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Jalissa
Mhm.
Faye. I think is it Kendra? There's a Lockhart. Who else? I mean, there's quite a
Man,
few.
she bad. She bad. Kendra.
Yeah,
Ooh.
there's quite a few. I mean, and what's her name? Not Elaine. Um, I think she has like a very strong quartet vibe as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like her. I think James Wright has done some projects with her. I actually saw her at one of Sincere's launches. I could
Okay.
be pronouncing her name wrong. Like I say, I know her from social media. I met her in person like maybe about 5 or 6 times, but like backstage, just kind of speaking like
Yeah.
Kendra Lee, whatever. But I would like to work with her as well.
Okay. So no, this is a family jewels type question. No. Let check this out, bro.
Okay.
If there was a song that you had to write for the family, but your pops had to lead it off, what type of song would it be?
You mean like in genre wise,
Yeah,
or
like all of y'all will have your own parts, but the song would be led by your pops.
oh,
Like
it would be
y'all would have to feed off his vibe of the song.
it's gonna be quartet.
Okay.
It's gonna be it's gonna be quartet. It's gonna sound.
It's gonna be it's gonna be real
It's gonna have
upbeat.
a drive to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me, man. But what's also interesting about you, man, is you transition your music ministry into the No Justice, No Peace movement. And
Wow.
yeah.
You do.
So so listen, man, when I bring somebody on my show, I research. I research.
Ooh.
I
I
research.
I didn't think you was gonna go there, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So no justice, no peace. And
Just a piece.
just for a soldier of the cross,
That's
a warrior of Christ, you
yes,
know, for somebody who was like, you know, the things that black people have went through, it's like we've been in the lion's den our whole life.
mm-hmm.
And so when I seen the photo "No Justice, No Peace," it interested me um, on how you transition your music ministry into a movement where you have to stand tall for your people. So how did that transpire?
Oh man, that that fatal shot that we heard around the world out of Sanford, Florida, um, Trayvon Martin. That kind of that was like I felt like I've always had a heart for like activism, but it was I didn't feel like we're free now. Like there's certain things that we don't have to deal with. Like I'm safe. And then when I saw that, it made me feel like okay, I'm not so safe. But it still wasn't enough for me until I got pulled over one day. I was driving in my little Hyundai Sonata one day doing about 40, and it was a white van behind me, off to the actually they're in the lane right next to me, and they were speeding. They had to be doing at least like maybe 60 or something like that. And I wanted to get over, so I said, whoever they are, they need to slow down, bump them. So I, had my turn signal over. I got over. They stand on the brakes, and all of her, I start hearing some exploitive words. Pull your mother, bleep, 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 bleep. And I pulled over. I didn't know it was a, police vehicle. And they came to my window, guns drawn, aiming right at my head. So I'm like, this is not a routine stop because I cut them off. So they're just upset, and they were abusing their power. And the one officer, he said, "Get your license for me." And right when I was getting ready to reach for my license, that was in the center console, is when I saw the other partner with the gun aiming right at my head. So I put my hand back on the steering wheel, and the big guy on the left side, on my driver's side, he just kept on saying, "Get your license." And the way he was doing it, it was like he was egging me on to get it fast. And I didn't want to do it because I knew if I reached too fast, what was going to happen? I was going to be a hashtag. And I just kind of, I just kind of sat there like, confused for a minute. And then I turned to him and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to get my licenses in the center console, but I need him to lower his weapon." And when I did it, surprisingly, the guy, he was like, "Okay, like just lower your weapon." He lowered his weapon, and they went back with my license. They came back and just laughed. They threw my license inside the car, and they just laughed, and then they just sped off. And they left me there, no ticket, no nothing. So, like in that moment, I realized that no, we're not as safe as we think we are.
No,
And
man, no black man is safe walking on American soil.
nah,
No,
like
bro.
even as I'm standing here, like every now and then, I really want to kind of look back. And it's not so much that I'm worried about a mug or anything like that. That I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about people who are, overdoing it with their jobs. And like I recently had an encounter. I went to go pick up something for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a scarf or something that they had made for the kid. This lady was a seamstress, Janelle. She had put it together, and I went to the wrong place. I went to another house and I pushed the button, and the ring thing came on. They saw me. I'm standing there with my phone, texting, and the person that came on the ring, they was like, "Hey, like, why are you, ringing our bell at this time of the night?" It's probably about like maybe 10:40 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say less than 10 seconds after I heard that person talking, I heard something on the side of the house, and it was the same guy, but this time this guy had a gun, and he was egging me on for a fight. Like, he was calling me every name in the book, and all I could do was just walk away from him and just trust that, if you're gonna shoot me, you're gonna shoot me in the back, because I'm not finna run towards you, and I'm not finna stay here and give you a reason to shoot me. But the point of the matter is this: in terms of my activism, it comes from a place that I know all too well from just being racially profiled by certain police officers, because I do have friends who are police officers who don't do that. But certain individuals, maybe they didn't have the clout that they wish they had when they were in high school. Maybe they were not the person that they needed to be like in society, and then they finally had an opportunity to wear a badge and then kind of abuse the power that they didn't have some time ago. I don't know what the story is. Maybe they just need a hug. But the bottom line is, it's like, it's not worth somebody's life. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's happened to you in your past life, that you can't be what the badge says you should be. And that is, protectors of the citizens. Not somebody who just, comes up and immediately sees this, and then they feel like they have to speak to me in such a manner. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear me in this conversation. I'm rather articulate, so you don't have to, come to me as if I'm a criminal. And I believe that's what probably got me out of that situation when those officers pulled me over that day, was I was able to convey something to them that they understood that this guy's no dummy, and we could get in some legal trouble.
Right. And so, upon that movement, man, how many other activists did you connect with, as far as nonprofit owners, as far as community activists, and as far as how did that impact you to want to work more with the youth?
Let me see. Just walking through your community, you see that there's a lot of people who are like broken, and they need they need guidance. They need big brothers. They need their fathers. So, being that I had an awesome father, I said, you know what, not just to my own kids, but also to those other kids that are in the street. If I see them, I'm gonna correct them as nice as I can, as best as I can. If they need $1, I'm gonna give them $1, and if they need guidance, I'm gonna give them guidance. In terms of activists that I've come across, Minister Anthony Durden. I don't know if you ever heard of that name. There's a video that surfaced about like maybe 3 or 4 years ago of some brothers in the middle of like Opelika, in
Miami.
And in Miami, in
the trenches in Miami.
Yeah. So just imagine like the barred fence being broken down.
Oh, I know about Opelika, in Miami Gardens, and the Poke and Bean projects. Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah. So this same brother has a book and a DVD out that says, the title is From Crack to Christ. He was strung out on crack. He's from Compton, but he was strung out on crack. He was out here in the Overtown area. He actually wound up coming to the Miami Rescue Mission. And at the Miami Rescue Mission, they have chaplains and brothers who are praying in there. They have worship service. He got cleaned up, got his life together, and he wound up being the change that he needed to see. And now he was like the chaplain, or the go-getter for the Miami Rescue Mission. He was going out and getting brothers off the streets, because unlike, no shot to Camilla's house or, those other little homes, McDonald's homes and stuff like that, this place was 24/7. So when there were people who needed showers, needed, a place to like charge their phone, a hot meal, they could come there. And that's another ministry that I was open up to, which I'm kind of telling the story backwards, because I got into the homeless ministry with Minister Anthony Darden first, before we started, going to these, bikes up, guns down rallies, going to, the hunger strike. Minister Anthony Durden was a part of the Hunger 9, which you may have seen on Channel 7 News and a few other news channels. They came out to film these brothers who didn't eat supposedly for like 9 days, but they actually extended it to 27 days, I believe. I mean, Minister Anthony, brother, if you watching, please don't be mad at me if I got them days wrong, because I know he lost
Oh no,
a
no, no,
lot of
don't
weight.
worry, bro. I'm gonna definitely look him up, and I'm gonna ask you to definitely plug me with him because it sounds like he has a remarkable story, growth, awareness, um,
Yes,
spirituality, and it sounds like he definitely has something to
yes,
say to the people. And so, I really appreciate you sharing that, man.
yes,
Like because people don't even understand, man.
yes.
Once you get delivered and you know that you delivered, that's a whole new beast, man. That's a whole new feeling, man.
I
And
literally made a post when I said, because somebody asked me, about deliverance. And I said, deliverance is when they couldn't pay you to go back to the place that you just got out of.
hmm
They couldn't pay you to go back. That's
hmm
that's when you know you're delivered, because you're fed up with it. You know what I mean? It makes your stomach turn to even
right,
think about being in that space again. So
right.
that's what it feels like, and I believe that's truly what Minister Anthony Durden is. If I could add one more group of activists, is Circle of Brotherhood. Circle of
Yes,
Brotherhood
hey,
is
listen, man. I'm gonna say shout out to my man Pop down in
yes,
Miami.
sir.
And
Yep.
I'm gonna say that him and Susan Bullets,
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about power couples, I'm
Yeah.
gonna shout them out, man. When we talk about, loving God and staying true to that divine word and living with a purpose and impacting your community,
Yes.
impacting single fathers and single mothers, impacting the solid rock and standing firm on what marriage is what it means to them. And they about to say I do in August, and listen,
Yes.
man, they are serious with it, man. So I mean,
Yes.
I love both of them, man. Like that's my sister, and
Yeah.
and he my brother, man. And any anything that they do, man, I'm definitely in tune with, man.
Absolutely.
Like when I first started talking to Pop, man, I never seen a rap artist that was so spiritual and so in tune with doing the work to help others, but yet
Yeah.
going in going into prisons and starting program for
Yeah.
felons and giving them a way where they can make it when they come back to the bricks. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
yeah, man. Like he just
Yeah.
remarkable, man. He's just remarkable.
Absolutely. Yep. So that the circle between the Circle of Brotherhood, Minister Anthony Durden, they really got me into even prison ministries. I've been able to go alongside with my little bro Reese Fletcher to minister and worship and I hate to use the word perform, but to also be able to just exercise our talents in front of these brothers who were incarcerated um, far west. I can't remember the corrections facility, but I know it was far west. Like it was real far west. It was no land after
Are we
that.
are we are we, are we talking about like Fort Miles, Naples type west or
It was
farther?
it was it was a little further south. Like I felt like we were going like past like maybe Miramar, but then like deep west or something like Okeechobee or something.
Oh wow.
So it might be like an Okeechobee, corrections facility.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it was real. Like we had to, you had to be ready. They had people there, but a lot of them brothers they have been, not necessarily institutionalized or conditioned, but you got to think about it. We're a source of entertainment and also a source of information for them from the
hmm
outside world. So they're not going to jeopardize that. So a lot of times, people they depict, those who are incarcerated like it's a bunch of animals. Like there's some places I'm pretty sure if we would have went a little further and we would have made a left, we probably would have saw them. But the people who were on the yard that day, those folks were on their best behavior. They've probably been on their best behavior for like, months on end,
Mm-hmm.
preparing for this event, because that the screening for us started, I want to say like maybe 3 or 4 months prior. So they wasn't going to bring just anybody. So that tell you something about me and my background. They wasn't going to bring anybody out there.
Right. That's dope, man. That's what's
Yeah.
up, man. That's definitely God's work, man. And I tell people, man, like I tell people, it's a lot of people who you might meet in the street, man,
Mm-hmm.
that might know the word, but they haven't been delivered yet. And so
Yep.
if you on this journey and you trying to win souls as God
Yes.
want us to do, then you gotta help them. I didn't say you can deliver them, but you got to show them the path and the footsteps in the journey to get delivered.
Absolutely. I watched somebody. It was a post that somebody made. It was a clip of another pastor, and it was just really quick. You couldn't even see the pastor's face. You just heard the voiceover and the guy walking to whatever he's doing. And he said, "Introduce him to Christ and get out the way." Right? Because, and I'm gonna say the because. We're not perfect, right?
No.
So a lot of times when we come out and we say we're going to be the face of salvation, right? I'm the spokesperson, and then what happens is when you trip up, they're gonna say, "Well, I don't want Christ anymore because you messed up." I'm like, no. Like, I'm not trying to sell you and put you on to me. I'm trying to connect you to the divine plug. I'm trying to connect you to Jesus. So this is not about me. Like I said in a song, I said, I mean, if you ain't come to hear Christ, what you here for? I used to
Mm.
make music for the enemy. Now I'm just trying to set fire to the enemy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm
Right.
not trying to, like this is about me. That's why I'm just me, dangling earring, tattoos, or whatever the case may be. But when it's time for somebody, if they say we want to pass out turkeys, we're gonna, like me and Minister Anthony Durden did with, maybe 60 to 70 other people. We went out and passed out 450 sandwiches, toiletries, toothpaste, and things, and deodorant for those people who needed it under that bridge in Overtown. We
Oh
hugged those
wow.
people. I've been in the Miami Rescue. I can't count on both of my hands how many times I've been to the Miami Rescue Mission. So, the level of servitude in terms of my heart and even like my desire for worship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm about to get choked up thinking about it. Like all
Right.
I've, the people that's been closest to me lately, if you ask them, what has Byron been talking about, like in this current season, they'll say worship. All bro want to do is just get to some place and just worship and just pour out to God. Because not that I have anything against praise, when people do things good, but you be like, thank you, you praise them. But when you're going through, you don't want to be bothered with nobody. But if that
Yeah.
person is strong enough and smart enough to worship God in that low place, that'd be the best thing they've ever done. They would empty out whatever it is that vice that is controlling them and making them feel like they need to give up.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying? So worship
Absolutely.
is the place. Like I,
Oh yeah.
I think I inadvertently, I think I got a suicide ministry because I've had people who've called me um, in the midst of, you know, getting ready to commit suicide, and I developed this saying. I say, hey, if you're willing to do that, give me 24 hours. Like 24 hours, I'm going to kill myself tonight. I said, well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to jump, if you're going to pop a pill or shoot yourself, whatever, that's pretty extreme. All I'm asking is for 24 hours. Now, what you decide to do after that, that's on you, and that's between you and God. But I'm asking you for 24 hours. And they say, okay, man, bump it. What do you, begrudgingly, what do you want me to do? I say, I want you to do this right here. Find you a place that you can go into and you can scream as loud as you can and you can tear it up in if you need to. They say, man, okay, I'm in my room right now. Like, it's my belongings. I tear it up. It don't matter to me because I'm about to leave all this stuff behind anyhow. I said my point exactly, right? That's if that's what you're thinking. I said, I'm going to send you a YouTube link. All I ask you is you listen to this, okay? And it was, I want to get this man's name right. But Zacardi Cortez, he sings a version of this song. Let your power fall when your name is called. Prove the doubt is wrong. Show them you're mighty and strong. So that song right there, you know, prove my unbelief and, prove the doubters wrong. So I can tell all my friends that you have won again.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about that song in particular that brings me to my knees. And I've been 10 out of 10 so far. So for all the people that have called me and they've played that song, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? I think his name was Keon, something like that. And the song that Zacardi Cortez and I think Anthony Brown or somebody. But that particular song right there, you lock yourself inside a room, especially when you're going through something and you're on the verge of giving up and you lock yourself inside a room with that song, you're gonna come out. And they're still alive today.
Yeah.
I'm still alive.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing, man.
That's it.
That's a blessing on top of a blessing that motivates you to keep striving for better, keep striving to be more like Christ, and keep striving to help win souls, man. Because it is a spiritual war here, man, and no man is safe.
No one. I developed this term. I said no one is excluded from the casualties of life.
Right.
No.
And you're absolutely right.
I only know one person to die and to come back again with all power.
So you better say it. You better say that.
Only one.
Only one, man. Only one. And so, man,
maybe
that's
Lazarus.
the only one. So that's what's up, man. Man, we about out of time. So just want to let you give your shout outs, man. I just want to thank you once again for this dialogue this evening, man. For you,
it's been long overdue.
Yes, sir, man. For you dropping the jewels of your journey, the jewels of your family, and the jewels of you being a saint to help God's people come out of a place where they've been so trapped in for so long, man. You definitely are a blessing, man. You definitely are a blessing. So
appreciate that.
Give your shout outs and give your social media links, your website, and so people can get in contact with you.
All right, you already know what it is. It's your brother Byron Holton, Senior. The site that you can go to is actually boylionmedia.com. So that's www.boylionmedia.com. Also, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Byron_Holton. So that's BYRON. If you don't understand my name, it's on here somewhere. Yeah, right there.
It's on there.
Yeah, so there you go, right there. So BYRON_HOLTON. The same thing with Facebook. For those who are watching from Facebook, you can also, you can also contact Mr. King Jacob right here, whatever, so you can get the EPK to you if you're looking to do some booking, or you can reach out to Tanya Deja for booking as well, or Mr. MJ Smith at WMBM, as well as Maestro Lindsay Powell at 99 Jams. Let me see. I do have a single that is still being worked on featuring Campton Jones, which is like a remake of Speak to My Heart by Mr. Donnie McClurkin. What else? There's a lot of stuff going on. Still doing some acting. Come on. I'm trying to get all my shameless plugs in because we didn't do too many of the plugs. But the most recent projects that you guys can stream or either download is on Spotify, which is A Wretch Undone, as he said. There's also The People on the Fence, which is definitely the heart of my ministry, which is helping everybody get off the fence. At some point, we were straddling the fence and we got to get off. So this album is dedicated to the people on the fence because I need you to get off. Love y'all. All right.
You heard it first, man. Big Mouth Media podcast live with your boy King Jacob, Mr. Byron Holton. minister of music, and man, he's here. He's ready to work, and man, till the next time, I want y'all to stay safe, be blessed, and most of all, stay encouraged. Peace. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.